I want you to think about something that all of you have in common with everyone else, without exception. Unfortunately, the answer is someday, maybe even suddenly, we will all die. The harsh reality is most of us have never given this much thought. Keanu Reeves made a guest appearance on the May 10th, 2019 airing of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And while discussing the new Bill and Ted movie, the subject of death and existence came up. And Stephen had asked Keanu, what happens when we die? And Keanu, speaking from personal experience of losing a child and a partner, he profoundly responded with, I know the ones that love us will miss us. Although those words were authentic and true, sometimes those words are also incomplete. According to a 2025 study conducted by LIMRA, which represents over 700 different life insurance companies, only 51% of working adults report as having some form of life insurance. This means that not only would our loved ones miss us when we're gone, but they would also have to worry about their financial future while they try to grieve. Today, I discuss what life insurance is, who should have life insurance and why, and I'll go over a couple of case studies of how life insurance, or the lack thereof, affects a family. My goal is for you to understand why every adult should have some form of life insurance and for you to take appropriate action. Here's a wave-top view of what life insurance is and what it does. An online article titled Types of Life Insurance Explained and published in November of 2025 by Progressive, an insurance company serving over 13 million policies, they state that there are two main categories of life insurance: term, which is temporary, and permanent. Term life insurance and all other policies have a death benefit amount, which is what gets distributed to the designated beneficiaries, our loved ones, in the event that the policyholder passes away when the policy is still active. Typically, all insurance policies pay out a death benefit and it's tax exempt, which means you don't have to claim that benefit as received income when you file your taxes. Term insurance provides coverage for a set temporary period, and it pays out a benefit provided that the term is still active and you're current with your payments. The premium for the term is locked at the beginning of the term, making budgeting easier for financial planning. A feature of term insurance is called a return of rider premium, which can be purchased at the beginning and factored into the cost. And what this feature allows is for the premiums that were paid to be returned to the policyholder if the policyholder survives the term period. So basically, you get your money back if you don't die. Permanent life insurance provides coverage for your entire lifetime, paying the benefit to your loved ones no matter when you pass away, if the premiums are paid and up to date. Permanent life insurance typically has higher costs than term insurance. However, over a long period of time, premiums later in life can actually be more affordable than if you purchased a term insurance plan at an advanced age. Permanent policies also feature a tax-exempt growing savings account. The savings accounts can serve many purposes depending on an individual's needs, so be sure to ask about this information when you seek more information about it. Now that we've discussed the basics of what life insurance is, the two main types of insurance, and some basic features, let's discuss who should have life insurance and some reasons why. According to a study titled Trends in Mean Age of Mothers in the United States from 2016 to 2023, which was published in June of 2025 by the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 33.8% of first-time mothers are aged 24 or younger, and 8.7% of first-time mothers are aged 20 or younger. The National Association of Home Builders, whose membership is responsible for building over 80% of new housing each and every year in the United States, published a research blog on 20 January in 2025. The blog titled Moving Out of Parental Homes is on Hold. The author, Natalia Sinvenskia, informs us that in 2023, 19.2% of young adults ages 25 to 34 are still living with their parents or their in-laws. So that translates to 8.5 million of these young adults still living at home. And in California, that percentage is 26.5%. Based on Wiscar's leading causes of death visualization tool, which was also developed by the CDC, as of November 2025, the leading cause of death in 2023 for people in the United States ages 1 to 44 was unintentional injury. Over 147,000 people ages 1 to 64 died in 2023 based on unintentional injury. Now, I realize these statistics paint a very grim picture, but I want you to deliberately think about what you just absorbed. You may not be a parent yet, but if you become a parent someday, you'll have your children living with you until they move on, and that could be anywhere from 18 to 34 years, depending on where life takes you and your family. Some of you aspire to have a family one day, and those of you that are parents probably have children living with you now. Maybe some of you are still staying with your parents, or they stay with you. If you fit into any of these categories, you most likely have other people that financially depend on you. And if you're under the age of 64, the most likely reason you're going to die is from an unintentional injury. And it will be shocking to the ones that depend on you most. Now, if this information disturbs you even a little, what are you going to do about it? So now that we have a deeper understanding of many people that need life insurance and some reasons why, I want to share two case studies of people who have lost loved ones and how having or not having life insurance affected those families. I conducted personal conversation via phone interview on November 10th with a family friend, Alice Stone. She lost her husband recently but had some life insurance. Here are some of the thoughts that she shared with me. Her husband, Randy, passed away from cancer, and even though she and her family were somewhat prepared, the grief still hit very hard. She was unprepared for some easily overlooked expenses like the legal document preparations and execution. Now, the proceeds of the insurance didn't help her with her grief, but it did allow her to not worry about how to pay for these unplanned expenses. So Alice told me that the money that she received felt like a godsend because it allowed her to focus on her and her family's grief head-on without financial distraction. I also want to share a story of a young man named Robert William and how his family had to deal with his untimely passing. Robert William was a traveling salesman, and on August 6, 1938, like many other days, he had to catch the train. Being a natural-born salesman, he was quite the talker and got distracted in conversation when he realized he was about to miss his train. Like many times before, he climbed onto the slow-moving train platform as the train crept forward. But this day was different. He did not board the train safely, and he fell from it, where he was cleaved in half, and he died. Robert didn't have life insurance, and why would he? He was 32, and he had his whole life ahead of him. He was buried 3 days later and was survived by his wife, Rhoda May, and his 10-month-old son, Robert William Jr. My grandmother, Rhoda May Leonardson, and Robert William lived a very challenging life, partially because they lost a loved one, but they had to figure out how to survive without the income that he provided. I've never had the heart to ask what my father really went through living poorly and growing up without his father, but I'm willing to bet they could have had an easier time if they had some form of life insurance to protect his loved ones. It doesn't escape me the heaviness of this subject, but it's very important to still talk about. Today we discuss what life insurance is and some features. We discuss some statistics surrounding untimely deaths of people and some of the reasons why young adults should have life insurance. We also went over two case studies, one of a family that had life insurance and mine who didn't. So here's my takeaway for you. This week, take 15 minutes to explore free online material to learn more about life insurance. Kiana was right. Our loved ones will miss us when we're gone. But we need to have our affairs in order so they can just focus on missing us and not trying to survive without us. My closing remark to you is this: good luck, have fun, and don't die. At least not yet. your loved ones aren't ready.